Welcome to Darkness Dreams. Tonight's story is one I still struggle to talk about because it didn't end when I moved away. It followed me. And if you've ever laughed at the idea of black magic, I used to be like you. Until the night I heard someone whisper my name from inside a locked room. My name is Daniel, and this happened in the winter of 2019. I had just moved into a small apartment in East London. The place was cheap, clean enough, and close to my job. The building itself was old, one of those brown brick blocks with narrow hallways and thin walls. The kind of place where you could hear someone cough 3 doors down. The landlord told me something the day I signed the papers. He said, "Just don't bother the lady in for B." I asked why. He smiled awkwardly, like he regretted speaking. "She likes privacy, that was all." Apartment for B was directly across from mine. The first time I saw her, I thought she was just strange. She was older, maybe in her late 50s. Always dressed in black. Long scarf, even indoors. And her eyes didn't look at people. They looked through them. The hallway light above her door was always flickering. I didn't think much of it. London has all kinds of people. The first week was normal. Work, home, sleep. Then the smell started. At first, it was faint, like burnt hair. Then it got stronger. Some nights it smelled like hot metal, like a penny rubbed between your fingers. I assumed it was old wiring. But then one night, I smelled it inside my apartment. I checked the kitchen, nothing. Checked the bathroom, nothing. Then I realized the smell was coming from the front door, from the gap under it, like smoke drifting in from the hallway. I opened my door, and instantly the smell hit me like a punch. The hallway was darker than usual, and the smell was coming from beyond her door. I stood there, confused, staring at it. And that's when I heard something. A low chant. It was muffled, but clear enough to make my skin crawl. It wasn't English. It sounded like someone speaking through wet cloth. I stepped closer, holding my breath, and then the chanting stopped to silence. The kind of silence that feels aware. Then her door handle moved. Not opened. Just moved slightly. Like someone on the other side touched it. I backed away so fast my shoulder hit my own door. I rushed inside and locked it. I laughed to myself, trying to calm down, relax. It's just a weird neighbor, but that night, I had the first dream. In the dream, I was standing in my hallway barefoot. The light was flickering, and B's door was open. Inside, it was pitch black. No furniture, no walls. Just darkness. And from inside that darkness, a voice whispered, "Come in." I woke up sweating. My phone said 3:17 a.m. I tried to sleep again. I couldn't. The next morning, I found something outside my door. A small bundle tied with black thread. I stared at it for a full minute. I didn't want to touch it, but I also didn't want to leave it there. So I grabbed a plastic bag, picked it up, and dropped it into the trash chute. Then I washed my hands like I'd touched poison. The rest of the day, I tried to forget it, until I came home. The bundle was back, right outside my door. Same black thread. Same knot. My stomach dropped. That wasn't possible. I looked down the hallway at no one. Just silence. I grabbed it again, using the bag, and this time I took it downstairs and threw it into a public bin outside the building. I watched it fall in. I even stepped on it, crushing it, like that would break whatever weird game this was. Then I went back upstairs. As soon as I got inside, I heard a knock. Not on my door. On the wall. From the other side, from B. 3 knocks slow. Deliberate, I froze. Then I heard her voice. Not chanting. Not whispering. A normal speaking voice. She said, very calmly, "Daniel, I swear my heart stopped." How did she know my name? I hadn't told her. I hadn't even spoken to her. I stood there, staring at the wall like an idiot. She said again, softer this time, "Daniel, you shouldn't throw gifts away." I didn't answer. I couldn't. My mouth was dry. Then I heard her footsteps, walking away from the wall, back into her apartment. And then a sound I'll never forget. A soft scratching, like fingernails against wood. But not on her side, on mine. On the inside of my wall. That night, I called my friend Marcus. He laughed at first. Then I told him about the bundle. About the dream. About her saying my name. Marcus went quiet. He said, "Bro, don't mess with that. Some people actually do this stuff." I told him I didn't believe in it. Marcus replied, "You don't have to believe in it for it to work." That line annoyed me. But it also scared me. The next day, I tried to be normal. I left for work early. When I opened my door, there was a thin line of something sprinkled across my doorstep. White powder. In a perfect line. From one end to the other. Like someone had drawn a boundary. I looked at Fabi's door. It was closed. But I felt it. That feeling of being watched. I stepped over the powder line. And the moment my foot crossed it, the hallway light above me flickered violently. Then it turned off. Completely. The hallway went dark. And I heard something behind me. A soft breath. Right next to my ear. I spun around to nothing. Just the empty hallway. I ran downstairs and didn't stop until I reached the street. I spent the whole day uneasy. At work, I couldn't focus. My phone kept dying even though it was fully charged. Every time I looked at the time, it was 3:17 p.m. 3:17 on my computer. 3:17 on the microwave. Like the world was mocking me. That evening, I came home and decided I was done. I was going to confront her. Not aggressively. Just ask her to stop with the creepy stuff. I walked up to Fabites and knocked. No answer. I knocked again, nothing. Then I heard movement. The door opened slightly. Just an inch. And her eye appeared in the gap, one eye. Watching me. I swallowed. "I'm sorry to bother you. I'm Daniel. I live across the hall." Her eye didn't blink. I continued. I've been finding things outside my door that bundles that powder. "I think it might be coming from your side." She smiled. I could see it through the gap. A slow, knowing smile. She whispered, "It's already on you." My stomach turned. Once she opened the door a little wider. Just enough for me to see inside. And I wish I hadn't. Her apartment was dark, even though it was daytime. Candles everywhere. Black candles. And in the middle of the floor, a circle. Drawn in white powder. Inside the circle was a small wooden bowl. And in that bowl was a clump of hair. Blonde hair, not my hair. I stumbled back, my hands shaking. She softly closed the door. And before it fully shut, she said, "You crossed the line." The door clicked shut. I stood there, breathing hard. I rushed back into my apartment and locked it. I looked in the mirror. And that's when I noticed it. A tiny patch of hair missing from the back of my head. Like someone had cut it while I slept. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on my couch with all the lights on. Around 3:17 a.m., my bathroom light turned on by itself. I stared at the hallway. The bathroom door was open. The light inside was on. But I hadn't touched it. Then the sink faucet turned on. Slow drip that drip that drip. I walked toward it. My hands shaking. And I swear to God, the mirror fogged up. From the inside. Like someone was breathing on it. And words began to appear. Finger written on the fog. 3 words. "Let me in." I stumbled back. The bathroom light shut off. and the hallway became freezing. Then I heard the scratching again. This time, not from the wall. From my front door. Like fingernails scraping the wood slowed a patient. I stood there frozen. Then I heard her voice through the door's soft that close. "Daniel, open up." I screamed, "Leave me alone," silence. Then a laugh. Not a friendly laugh. A laugh that sounded like it came from a throat full of dust. I didn't open the door. I didn't move. I just stood there until morning. When sunlight finally came, I thought it was over. I was wrong. Over the next week, my life started falling apart. My boss called me in and asked if I was using drugs. Because I looked sick, my skin turned pale. Dark circles under my eyes. I was losing weight. I kept finding black threads in my bed, in my pockets, in my shoes. I would throw them away, and they would appear again. And every night, 3:17 a.m. Always 3:17. The dreams got worse. I dreamed I was lying in my bed, and I couldn't move. Sleep paralysis. But in the dream, my bedroom door would slowly open, and she would stand there. Not walking, just standing. Her head tilted. And she would whisper, "Give me your name." The first time, I woke up screaming. The second time, I woke up with scratches on my chest. 3 long lines, like claw marks. I went to a doctor. They told me it was stress. I went to a therapist. They told me it was anxiety. But anxiety doesn't leave black threads under your pillow. Anxiety doesn't whisper your name through a wall. One night, I came home and my apartment smelled like burnt hair again. Stronger than ever. The air felt thick, like breathing through cloth. I walked into my bedroom and saw something on my bed. A small doll. Made of cloth, crude. Hand-sewn. It had no face, just blank fabric. And tied around its neck was a tiny label. A piece of paper with my name written on it, Daniel. I grabbed it and threw it across the room. The moment it hit the wall, my lights flickered. My TV turned on by itself, the static got loud. Then through the static, I heard a voice, not hers. Something deeper. Something that made my stomach twist. It said, "He's ready." The closet door in my bedroom began to shake slowly. Like something inside was pushing against it. I backed away. Then my phone buzzed. A text message. From an unknown number. It said, "Come to Phoebe." Now, I didn't reply. I didn't move. Then my front door unlocked by itself. Click. I stared at it. My hands shaking. The handle slowly turned. And the door began to open. I slammed it shut and locked it. I pushed my couch against it. Then I heard her footsteps in the hallway slowed at barefoot, stopping right outside my door. And then she began to chant. Louder than before. The air in my apartment felt like it was vibrating. My ears rang. The doll on the floor began to move. Not a lot. Just twitching. Like it was alive. Then I heard something I will never forget. My own voice. From the hallway. Calling me. Daniel, open the door. But it wasn't me. It was an imitation. A perfect copy. Like something wearing my voice. I covered my ears and screamed. Stop! The chanting stopped instantly. Silence. Then her voice, right outside my door. Too late. The hallway light outside my peephole turned on. I looked through the peephole. And I wish I hadn't. Because I didn't see her. I saw myself. Standing outside my door. Same clothes. Same face. Same eyes. But smiling. A wide, unnatural smile. And my copy leaned close to the peephole and whispered, I'm already inside. At that moment, something grabbed my ankle from under the bed. A cold hand. Not human. My body locked up. I fell forward. My head hit the floor. And the world went black. When I woke up, it was morning. I was in my bed. Like nothing happened. No scratches, that no dull, that no smell. Just silence. I thought maybe I imagined it. Then I checked my phone. There was one new photo. A photo of me sleeping. Taken from inside my bedroom. And in the corner of the photo was her, standing in the darkness and smiling. That day, I packed everything. I didn't care about the lease. I didn't care about money. I left. I moved to my cousin's place across the city. And for a week, everything felt normal again, that no 317. No smells. No threads. I started to breathe again. I thought I escaped. Until the 7th night. I woke up suddenly, 3:17 a.m. The room was cold. I looked at the door. And there it was. A thin line of white powder across my cousin's bedroom doorway. The same boundary line. My blood ran cold. Then, from the hallway outside the room, I heard her voice, soft as familiar. Too close. Daniel, you can't move away from your name. I sat up shaking. My cousin's house was miles away. How was she here? Then I saw it. On the bedside table. A small bundle tied with black thread. And a note. 3 words. Welcome back home. I didn't scream. I didn't run. Because in that moment, I realized something. This wasn't about the apartment. This wasn't about the building. This was about me. She didn't live in Phoebe. She lived in the space between my fear and my mind. And once she got your name, once she got your hair, once you looked into her darkness, you were never really free. Even now, years later, I still wake up sometimes at 3:17 a.m. and I still smell burnt hair. And when I look at my bedroom door, I swear I see a thin white line waiting for me to cross it. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.